Hey y'all, welcome back to J Car Pod. I am Jenna, of course, and it is week 5, halfway through this season, I suppose. Everyone's like freaking out about it on the internet. They're like, oh my god, the season's so short, the season's so short, what happened? Why are we at hometowns? And I get it, true, fair, facts. But I will say, we started off with only 25 women. Shannon and I talked about this. One of the smallest selection for Bachelor in a long time. Now, we should have probably had still like another week, I feel like, so things are sped up in a weird way, and I am interested to see if it like has anything to do with any kind of like impending drama that might get dropped at the last minute. Like, who knows, because there was like some weird stuff that was happening with Grant prior to him being actually like filming a scene. I don't know, y'all. I'm at the edge of my seat. But in order to talk about week 5, which is the week before hometowns, which does sound cuckoo bananas, of course joined by Shannon. Do the roses line. What's up, bitch?
Oh my gosh. Not much.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
genuinely
vibing under
thrilled.
Elon Musk's presidency, brah.
Just living in this fucking what is it, oligarchy regime out here. It's fine. No one's it's whatever. Wake up my little ass up, go to my little grocery store job, and I try not to think about how everything is so fucking expensive.
I
Um,
know. Yeah. Is it your
and
fault that the eggs are still $20, Shannon?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We're all in charge of egg prices because we care. We all care that much. No, literally. It's so funny because like every once in a while I'll just walk by the egg spot and it'll just be like, sorry,
Stog, out of stock, literally.
God. But yeah, no, really what is hard is it's like people being on the receiving end, like when you're in the back and you get
Yeah.
to receive the trucks and stuff, the way they just short you all the time. So a lot of the time, it's not even like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I had planned to have this,
Yeah.
but it just didn't come. Or like we get the amount of notifications we get because I'm in the produce department about like farms having weather problems. Like, sorry,
Severe
no
weather
raspberries.
events.
Sorry, California's on fire. I don't know if you know that, and lots of shit grows there.
Mm-hmm.
So bad news. So anyway, we are living in a hellscape, and we will
Yeah.
soon be living in a massive food desert. And I don't want to think about it. Let's talk about
The Bachelor.
this show that might get canceled.
I
What's
know.
going on here?
I'm yeah, okay, and then I've also been just kind of avoiding it. I think I
Like,
briefly mentioned it with Epiphany 2 weeks ago, but like, why is the Bachelorette not on?
like
And
what the
what's
fuck?
happening?
What the fuck? Because seriously, I was watching this season and I was like, every single one of these bitches could be Bachelorette.
Yeah,
Every one of them. All of them are like I
yeah,
I'm so impressed in general by just like this whole cast.
yeah,
They have been bringing it
yeah.
even when they get 5 milliseconds of screen time because some of these women have been on, it's like blink and you miss them.
Yeah,
And I only know who they are, obviously, because we are who we are. So
right.
like I know, but oh, it's
I
so
still barely
sad,
know who Dina is, and she's in the
right?
top 4, and it's because I've been calling
Or
her
more
Rachel
or Zoe.
Brandon like knockoff. Yeah, and and Zoe's been great, and she has been giving us a character every time she's
Oh
on
yeah,
screen, which
no,
we stand.
definitely.
But
But I
yeah,
don't
it
know
is
much
like
about her
confusing. You're like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I don't know shit about her. I know shit about Dina. And
because they maybe, should have given her a one-on-one.
yeah, I mean, actually though,
But they were but they were like, no, we'll give it to the girl who's gonna be like, surprise, I'm Mormon.
which you can tell how crazy my life is because I fully forgot. We found out episode 1, but I completely
We
blacked
I
that
think
out.
found out when we did the
Yeah, true.
thing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I
Yes.
completely forgot. And then Grant probably found out too, but then he was like, "What? You're Mormon?"
No,
And
like,
all of
and he's
America
like,
was
I
like,
don't
"What?"
know that much. It's like, I don't know that much about it. And I'm like, Grant, my guy, you're not
Promotional
gonna
tie-in. Shh. And like, there's a producer in the back with a gun. He's like, "But the fucking secret wives of Mormon wives are coming on after this, you piece of shit."
literally on next.
You
We
fucking
brought it,
keep it
we
cool for once.
plucked it, we plucked that shit off Hulu and we reran it for the normies
Yeah.
on ABC. And now they're obsessed with it more than because Hulu, I guess maybe it got traction, but like because it was like an ABC product, I think, but it like didn't
Yeah.
air on television. It
No, it
aired,
was on
it was on
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah.
And so
like
now that it's like airing,
on
because
ABC, but it's Hulu, but it's
I
like
when I was watching the premiere this season,
yeah.
and then Secret Lives of Warmer Wives came on after that, I was like, oh shit, is this a new fucking season? I was ready to lock in because I did watch it. Unfortunately, I did.
You and Hickey
And
both, yeah.
all I know is it's just it's delicious if you
Oh,
love to
yeah.
speculate on sexuality,
Yeah, and
okay?
I did,
All
and
half of
I
them are
did,
gay. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I will say
I
my
mean,
girlfriend is obsessed with it. My girlfriend's obsessed with Mormons, and they are not Mormon. They've never, I don't know if they've even met. No, they have met
that's
one before,
so fun.
but
That
they're
is so
obsessed with
funny.
Mormons. They like they watch all of the shows. They intentionally, when they drove across the country from Florida, went to Salt Lake City as a vacation destination so they could see the spots.
That is a
And so
special kind of
they're
neurodivergent.
yeah, and it is, and they say they very much openly say they're like that is one of my special interests. I'm like, okay, babe. So when Latia walked out of the limo, I didn't tell them that. I'd already again forgot that I knew anything about this woman, and Gio saw Salt Lake City, and they were like, oh my god, a Mormon. I said, no, babe, there's not a Mormon on this show. Look how scantily dressed she is, and sure enough, five
Mm-mm.
seconds later, we get her package. She's like, I'm Mormon, and I was like, you fucking clocked her ass. Anyway, but I could not. So my girlfriend's watching this show for the first time alongside, and it's been so lovely. And it's made perfect because as soon as the show ends, the fucking Mormon show comes on, and they've already seen it,
Mm.
of course, a couple times. So, but they're just like, "This is actually great," and I'm like, "Wow,
Target
it's like
audience.
they knew."
Yes. No, Latia, I've actually thought about this and noticed she is dressed in tight
That's the
clothing.
thing, and you're right. And I
She's
caught myself; it's
not,
not scantily; it's tight.
she's modest still.
Yeah,
A
no, it's
lot of
so
high
true.
necklines, a lot of sleeves, and a lot of long dresses.
Right, right.
And she slays. Her waist is like
Yeah,
this big, literally the tiniest person I've seen. Grant wraps his arm around her, and it just
twice.
like multiple times,
Yeah,
infinity times. Okay. And she's beautiful, obviously, but
yeah.
like she is someone who I keep watching and I'm like having to remind myself, and I don't know if this is clued in, clocked in for you. She's talked about having 11 brothers and sisters. Okay.
No, and Nick Viall.
Obviously, she's off. I don't think she's the only one. I think there's another one. I think
Yeah.
Dina also is one of 11. And
She.
maybe I'm mixing them up. Either way, even if it's not 11, it's many
Yeah,
amounts of siblings
yeah,
for Latia.
yeah,
But she is the only person of color
yeah. I think she's adopted.
in her. No, her father, remember, her
Oh, right.
father
No,
was from
sorry.
Fiji
Yeah.
and died 3 months after she was born.
Right. Now I
So her
remember. Yeah.
mother, who's white, married another man, obviously. And I don't know if the Mormonism, when that
Yeah.
slotted in, like if that
Yeah.
was an always thing for her mom,
Yeah,
or if her
maybe.
mom met a white guy in Utah and he was happened to be Mormon and she was like, whatever. Like, who knows in that range?
We'll find
But
out next week on
Latia
abc.com.
wrote
No,
when
but
they
you're right. I'm
that
like, I'm sad. I need to know.
that preview of her family date, and it was just that long line of white people staring at her and Grant. Like, what is the get out of it all? Like, don't joke.
No, this is not a laughing
That's
matter.
literally not, no,
Oh my
it's
God.
very serious. And Grant does not, if he's actually genuinely, truly, I don't know a lot about Mormonism, he is gonna learn real fast.
He's like, no, I like faith, and Jesus really helped me during my
Honey,
time in need. I'm like, babe, it's like
this
literally
is
night and
not like
day.
hallelujah in the corner of the
Yeah.
church. You know what I mean? Like this is not potluck Sunday.
Well, and I would love
This is some
somebody,
sinister.
I would love a Mormon to chime in if you're listening, or maybe I'll ask my
Please.
girlfriend. But
I'm just been tainted because by Secret Lives of
yeah,
Warmer Wives, and she seems like
and right, because I'm
one.
like, yeah, because I'm like, can she
She's
even be on this show? And I'm no one being ignorant when I say that, but I'm like, can Latia, does her faith even allow her to be on a show like this? But those ones are polyamorous and fucking
they are
so
fully. They are
clearly,
like they're doing ketamine therapy with their 70,000 gallon sodas next to them. like they're like, yeah, we don't drink alcohol because it's against us, but don't worry, ketamine is great. And you're like,
Mhm.
okay, sure.
Well, and the one lady is like
And
an alcoholic, which is fine. I'm not judging, but it's like I'm like, how does she consider herself
no,
still a
Taylor.
Mormon? Like, I'm
Yeah,
confused.
no, it's because it's a cult.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
because at least their
yeah, their
their
version.
stuff
Yeah.
is a cult.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
their shit going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And anyway, Latia though, that anyway, secret Mormon to drop on Grant in her one-on-one that Zoe didn't get.
Wait,
Like
I'm writing
there's
down a meme
just
idea right now. It's like not the secret lives of Mormon, it's like the secret Mormon of the Bachelor. Oh my
and
god.
another meme idea. You need to Photoshop Latia on the cast of Secret Lives of Mormon.
Yes, 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 yes.
Just like slot it in there real quick because it's giving that for sure. Honestly, she really should be leveraging
Yeah.
a deal here.
Yeah.
Like,
Does
give
she
me out
need to
season
meet up
two.
with one of the girlies from the show after the
Mm,
like for like a pap
yeah.
walk or something?
I mean, I would prefer Taylor
Yeah.
because she's chaos queen, but she
Hmm.
is chaos. She's very fun. But like, there's something about what's her fuck Heather,
Yeah.
the redhead
Oh yeah.
fuck ass Bob girl with the gay husband because she really got a gay husband
She's really got
on
a gay
Grinder and
husband.
shit. Like, oh, anyway,
Whew.
I
Well,
so Zoe doesn't get a one-on-one because
yeah.
of
Because of this. Because we needed this like layup. And honestly, it's fine. But
could you imagine if she
because it
said
worked
that
out the
if it
way
was a
it
surprise
did.
at hometowns?
Right. I mean, God, and like we're going all out of order because that's how I like to do this podcast now. But like we do have to talk about Zoe because oh my God, how do you know in the time that you've watched, has it ever happened where somebody who's not gotten a one-on-one has gotten to hometowns? I think maybe like once.
Um, okay. Wasn't Kendall from
Mm,
Ari season?
yes.
I am pretty
Uh,
sure she didn't get a one-on-one
yeah. Uh-huh.
because their hometown date, they kind of had one-on-one date energy where they like went and did like taxidermy shit,
Oh, right. Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that's the last time that's
Yeah.
happened.
That's crazy.
And it was also, I think, because he didn't want to take Becca
Because
Martinez.
he found out that she was 16.
Right,
I mean,
literally, she was a
essentially.
minor on the show.
No.
Lying, no, she wasn't. But she wasn't. But no, LOL, no, because it was similar to what happened here. Spoiler alert, that the villainy, like, and Becca was barely a villain, but like
Mhm.
had that energy-ish in the end. It was more of the like what that her
Well,
how could she be ready?
and,
She's
yeah,
22
she's
or
22.
whatever.
And of course, she was Latina. And
Mm.
I told my fucking poor Latina girlfriend, I said, babe, you're about to watch a show where they villainize every Latina, whether they're bad or not. So get ready.
Yep.
And anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's such a good point. Yeah, Becca was like this weird
And
sort of villain for like not doing anything wrong, but just being
just
herself.
literally nothing wrong, just being, yeah, exactly. Forward,
Yeah.
God forbid. And so yeah, Becca was the one who got sent home and probably could have instead got the hometown, I think, that
Hmm.
time. And then wait, and didn't Tia get sent home that day
Hmm.
too? And Tia was a front runner that whole season. It's all coming back to me now.
Hmm.
It's really coming back. But yeah, so that happened. But Zoe, I like I was it left field for me.
Yeah.
Like if it was gonna be a random other fourth, I was like Serafina. Like I guess she had a one-on-one. Like,
Yeah.
but we'll get there, I guess, further down. But anyway, yeah, no, Zoe is, I mean, she's interesting, and she, again, like you said in earlier, gave character.
Yeah.
She had some, but then she like fizzled in the middle of the season
Well, she
and
went from like
only
villain, she was about to be the villain, and so there's always two villains in every season. I've started to pick up that pattern. I think
Mhm.
most people have now. There's the
They have a
pre-villain
low-key
and the
one and the
yeah,
real one.
yeah. And so she was like early Vil, and then
Mhm.
they lowered her down to normal.
And I
Um,
think they tried to make her go crazy with the like no one-on-ones. Everybody, she was always the one stealing.
yeah,
And like they were trying, I think the producers were trying to put her into that role.
yeah,
And I think she's too cool as a cucumber, like
yeah.
to do that. And I think she was a good choice in the early on to do that shit on the one-on-one and steal them away because she is so like, what about it? Like she was low-key kind of badass about it. Like literally what's her Ally Joe is spiraling out and Zoe's like, with her little lips, her little corners of her lips always.
Connie said that they think that Zoe was the coached player, and I have to 100% agree at this point because her play last night was so great. Because it is a risk to tell the
Expert.
Bachelor, hey, are you okay? You didn't choose me for a one-on-one date. And I think it's pretty fucked. And but she did it in such a beautiful way because some people have done that and they crash out hard, which is fair because honestly, you should just
That's what
go
the producers
home.
want them to do.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that
And
too.
so it's fine if you do crash out. I don't no judge, but she crashed a smidge, but then she brought herself back up and she's like, "No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kill it." And then she,
Hmm.
luckily for her, Carolina was dragging all this like drama, so she was able to kind of redirect her crash out into just being with the girlies. And then, so I think she got her power from that, which I'm like, I'm so obsessed with her actually. I'm like, so Zoe. And I think she just
Zoe
gained
is,
more
yeah.
power. So then when she went into that nighttime with Grant, she was just like, I mean, it's fine, but I think it's kind of interesting that you didn't put me on a one-on-one. And he just like was like, no, no, I like you. What are you? And he like fucking fumbled all over himself, but it was perfect. And then like a little joke, he's like, well, like you keep me wanting more, so actually it's a good thing I didn't pick you. I'm like, how are we having this conversation right now? I've never. This was like wild.
Grant Grant has been a really interesting
Yeah,
bachelor. Like he's really forthcoming, like,
yeah.
and very, I mean, he's very Sagittarius. Like when he hears something about something, he's like, who said that? Or they say that, who they say that to, whose mama is that? Like all of it. They're like, he's like, I'm gonna figure this out because he's also he has a Scorpio Jupiter and he has a bajillion Sagittarius placements. So that's Scorpio
Oh,
Jupiter
so just
answering. So the Scorpio, like, I'm gonna figure it the fuck out. But he also got, in my opinion, hardcore
mm-hmm,
manipulated
mm-hmm,
tonight.
mm-hmm.
He got lawyered and he did not even realize. And
By two women,
it's
by both Dina and Zoe,
genuinely
and it was
like in
woo.
because like Grant wanted to pick Carolina,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, I
And
think
I
so.
think the only, literally, he said it, the only reason he didn't was because Dina was involved. And I wanted to be like, Grant, you should have seen Dina
Yeah.
crashing out
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with in front of Carolina. And Carolina's just like, should we
Yeah,
get
we
from the
have to get
beginning
into
of
that.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, where do we start? Because like the thing is, I've been team
It's the group
Carolina
date.
the whole time, and
Same.
there was like parts of last night where I was kind of like, girl, you're getting on my fucking nerves. This happens every time when there's a
She was so
strong
close.
girl. Yeah, and that's fine because that's
She
fine.
was,
It's like
it's
I'm like,
insane how like a couple of tweaks
yeah,
would have sold it all.
yeah,
And she just couldn't get that last bit forward. And I
yeah,
think it's because she's very clearly avoidant, like very avoidant,
yeah,
and doesn't want like to be like she was kind of like when she's crying on your background to
yeah.
him on that group date after pouting on a table, which I mean, look,
A
I'm gonna
good
say
play.
this. If you're gonna fucking be a
Yeah,
villain,
you do it. You do
you
it.
fucking do it. And because later, when Dina's like, you pulled him, she's like, no, I didn't.
No, it was so good.
I was literally like,
At
yeah,
one
he took
point, they like
her.
they show the other girls' faces, and Zoe was like, because Zoe's smart, and Zoe's like, you just stepped right into that, Dina, because and it was just like perfect. I was like, everyone knew exactly who they were playing against at the exact moment. They're like, Carolina is fucking good at this game, and she has been for so long, and it was so iconic. But yeah, she
Like,
just fully was like, well, no, I didn't. I did. I was just like, I was removing myself from the situation. I'm giving you guys space and time. Wasn't having fun, so I'll go over here. I mean, heaven forbid. And then like last week, when they were on the group date, and he comes back and sits down, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna give out the rose," and she's just in the corner, just like,
after they also came at her. Like,
"No, I
I'm
mean, true." Like,
sorry. I'm so like Carolina, I have been witnessing what
yeah,
I feel like just happens to Sagittarius women and fire signs in general, but heavily Sagittarius women because Sagittarius has the blunt aspect of fire signs, the very
okay,
like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna say whatever I want to say because she's the only fucking Sagittarius on the entire cast.
yeah,
And I noted that. And so I've been watching her and the way these women react to her, all of this drama around her is literally because everybody else can't get their shit
Mm.
together against Carolina.
Yeah.
Carolina, they're like, I'm like, she wasn't Zoeing. She wasn't fully taking him away from an entire
Mm-hmm.
group date where
Mm-mm.
children were involved. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
she was, if anything, yeah, maybe pouting in a corner a little bit. But girl, if you go, these other girls should have gone pout in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she got all that time with Grant because she made him want that time with her and
Yeah.
to comfort her because she has a killer fucking PTC. She's got that, she had such a good one-on-one date with him. And like, all these girls don't realize that. That's why she's fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
And yes, it's mistake to utter aloud that you are at all
Questioning.
ungrateful
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
questioning based on a date. But what
Yeah.
she was, they completely telephoned the fuck out of what she actually said to
Mm-hmm.
cause all of the original drama, which
Mm-hmm.
was, I almost wish I didn't have the date because it hurts so bad to see him go now. It wasn't like, I wish I didn't have the date, full stop. It was, if I didn't have the date, I wouldn't feel like this. And
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't it. So, and yes, complicated, convoluted, but like the way they were all ready to pounce with that,
Mm-hmm.
and it just led all the way up to this, where it's like, you're being so negative. And Carolina's like, I was sitting in the corner. Like, yes, I was being negative, but I'm over here. I'm
Yeah.
over, like you said, out the
Yeah.
way. And then Grant pulled me. Grant comforted her.
Yeah.
Like, she was ready to be like, send me home. And he was like, please don't. Like, the fact that she had this moment, cried, didn't, and then returned the date. Like,
Yeah. And she gave him every opportunity because she was like not even like when he was like,
every,
"What's wrong with you?" And she like didn't even like talk for the first like couple minutes. Like she was, and that was like where I was like kind of annoyed at her, but not really. More like that's just how she processes her emotions or whatever. But I was like, "Fucking
yeah.
speak up, girl! Like
No,
say what you want." Whatever. But like he could have
that's
been
what I'm
like, "You know
saying. If
what? You're
she,
not opening up. I'm gonna send you home." And it still like worked to her benefit.
no, literally, like, and that's what I'm saying. If she had just tweaked it a little, like, all
Yeah.
she needed was, these girls are really ganging up on
Yeah.
me, and I'm feeling like when I'm on a group date, it's hard to be with them
Mm-hmm.
because they do that. That's a better, and that's like a group kind of tattling
Yeah.
situation. So you
Yeah.
don't have to necessarily worry that they're gonna fuck with you as far as like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you have this one rivalry or whatever.
Yeah.
But
So true.
anything to where she's actually saying like, this is, again, she's avoidant as fuck. She doesn't want to admit that this is hard.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't. She doesn't want to admit that she's having feelings for him. And then these girls make it hard to
Yeah.
be around that. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't want to say that. She wants to be strong, which
Right.
I get you, girl. But if she
Yeah.
would have been a little more vulnerable, the Bachelor's favorite word, she would be going on that
Mm-hmm.
hometown date instead of Zoe, I think. And it would have been Zoe or it would have been Carolina and Dina's friendship makeup moment. And it would have been,
Yes.
which,
Well,
gay?
yeah,
Anyway,
I know, yeah, yeah, and also when we were talking about, I just realized again, Carolina was the victim of victim's a strong word of Rose and Rose's weird shit, where she told her that Grant didn't even want to be with her. So like from the beginning, she's been fighting this battle of the women like fucking with her,
and
and they
Rose is
come
like,
off
you
fine.
did me dirty.
Like
And
what? No, you got
I'm
into
like,
my head and now made me crazy. So no, of course I'm crying and freaking out every chance I get because I think the man who I have a connection with doesn't even like me, which is not
like,
true.
it was insane, the like web that was weaved,
Yeah.
all of this into this. Like, it's so clear that she,
Yeah.
my our opinion, that she was literally being fucked with. Like, these women had it out.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what it was about her that did it, what maybe was off camera, what we didn't see, who
I mean, true. Yeah,
knows.
who knows?
But it's like still, it was crazy the things that they were like latching onto and going at her for. I'm like, if any of you were in her scenario,
yeah.
when Dina was like, do you not have free will? And I was like, girl,
What are you talking? First of all, on the show, no, you don't. You signed it away. There's a fucking
literally
20
when
page.
Carolina was like, no. I think she was saying no as like,
Yeah.
I don't want to engage in this conversation. But she said no. And I was like, exactly. Like,
Actually,
where are you? You don't have your phone. What are you gonna do? You're gonna walk away? You're gonna walk away from this fucking castle
No.
to the sheep, and you're gonna vibe. What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go? So no, you don't have free will. But also, Dina, if you were pulled by the Bachelor, would you be like, literally what Carolina says? Would you have said, no, don't talk to me. Talk to the other girls. Like, it's like
She
everyone is
literally
Delulu
was
as
like,
fuck.
she
And
really was just like,
honestly,
it's so good.
Grant, I'm kind of judging
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's been sending home some girls who I'm like, those are the real ones. And he's keeping around some of these girls that I'm like, you've got, look, because again, no judgment on religion, but like you've got the secret Mormon,
Yeah.
you've got you've got what's potential Trumper,
Oh
you've
yeah.
got fucking what's the wait, who's the other one?
Dina.
Dina, who
Yeah.
literally, when I say that was the most masterful masterclass manipulation that she did to Grant to basically be like, Carolina sucks, send her ass home. And she was just like, some of us think, maybe there's you are so smart and
That was
you
like,
like
yeah. And I think
really
you
like
will really make the right
you,
choice in
you
this.
will understand and see it. And it was like, I'm like, Grant, you're gonna get your ass so got by these girls. And then Zoe, who I don't know who was on who was on a wrestling team and could beat your ass.
No, yeah.
Like
And again, she also played you with just like, I mean, I think it's kind of sus that you didn't pick
literally,
me. And I think it's actually
it's
rude as
like
fuck. And he's like,
these
I don't
girls
want to
are
be a
like
bad
jumping. He's like,
guy.
how high?
It's so
How high
good
am
as
I
shit.
jumping for you, girl?
And they don't
Because
even have to cry because on Peter's season, the women would just be like, and then
no,
they would like,
literally, the
he'd drop to his
Victoria.
knees and be like, I'm so sorry.
Honestly, Carolina was like, I was watching her and I'm like, she is the second coming of Victoria Fuller, of
Mhm.
Corinne Olympios. Like, she's giving all of that. She just didn't serve it up enough. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
She, when I saw the most amazing meme about Tate McRae.
Oh no.
It was so fucking. If you're literally on the internet enough, you've probably seen the video. I'm on Twitter, sadly still. I'm sorry. I can't get off it. I'm
Yeah,
addicted.
yeah.
But there's this insane music video of her, and someone was like, she's serving, but there's nothing on the plate. Like that's
No,
Carolina to me in this sense of like she couldn't pull the Victoria Fuller Corinne out
no.
of going to hometowns,
Mhm.
like being the villain vixen woman that all the other women
Mhm.
were not down for,
Mhm.
making it to hometowns.
Yeah.
Carolina was right there
Mhm. And I
and
think
just
it's because she's
couldn't.
actually a good person, and I think that,
Yes, I agree.
and
I agree.
when
Much better than those two.
and when like yeah, exactly. I mean, fully. Period. Two actual racists.
Even though
And
Corinne, I just saw her post something that was basically like, if you don't want The Bachelor to be canceled, be less fucking boring.
I mean, truth.
Like
Broken
literally,
clock is right
Corinne
twice a
fucking
time or
I'm
whatever.
I'm crazy and evil was like straight out of a Corinne Olympios book. I need more
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
because she was brilliant.
Well,
Anyway,
and like I feel like she wasn't like, giving full like I like to take naps like Corinne, but like but she was
she
close.
honestly,
She was close. Yeah,
If Carolina would have taken a nap on some of these
yeah,
dates,
yeah,
she might be in a better position.
yeah.
She might be going to hometowns
Mhm.
because all the other girls would have been like, well, I guess they'd be like, where's Carolina? She's napping. That's
Yeah.
like so disrespectful. And I'm like,
Mhm.
girl, take your time with the Bachelor. Let her sleep.
Yeah. Exactly.
God,
Right. Don't
Corinne
stop focusing
napping.
on the women. It's just like that's it's just so gay, honestly, and I love it.
I literally like when they made it when first I was so nervous at first. I was like, please don't fight. Please don't fight. Please don't fight. And then whenever they were both like apologizing,
Yeah.
like teary-eyed for each other, I was like, okay, kiss now.
It's, you don't
Just a
you
little
guys are
makeup
fighting over
kiss.
the
Mwah.
wrong person. Grant's nothing.
God, could you imagine the like what? She's like sexy Romanian is she's from right and fucking Puerto Rico. Hello.
Perfect.
Hello. It
Hello.
was giving. Dina though is interesting. I mean, Dina I feel like is actually compatible for Grant,
Oh, mm.
but I don't think he's
Well,
gonna pick her.
well, he sees mommy in her. I'll say that much because he
Mm-hmm.
said last week that she's like mommy. And so then
Oh.
this week when he was like, I trust explicitly everything that Dina
Oh
tells
yeah, that's
me. I
right.
was like,
He
well,
did
yeah,
tell
because
her
you
that.
want to suck on her boobies like mama. And like, you want to get a hug. Uh, Grant, just go to
And I'm like,
therapy.
why are you listening? And also, I bet you money Dina's going to be going home in the next two episodes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be because he was like, well, I'm keeping, it's like, okay, it's like he was like, well, I was keeping her around because she was like a voice of reason,
Hmm.
right? Which is why he can't fucking pick at the end.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the final
He calls
two.
Dina up. He's like, actually, babe,
Help
I know
me
I
out,
sent you home.
please.
I know I sent you home last week, but
I
I need like
cannot pick between Latia and fucking what's her face?
Juliana.
Juliana. I can't pick between a Mormon and a Trumper.
God,
Please help.
fuck.
Please help.
Guys, we don't even spoil, but like, that's gonna be the final two, right?
That's gonna be. I mean, unless Zoe pulls out something
Mm.
balls to the wall wild,
Hmm.
or Dina has just, I don't know, both of them apparently have big families, so it's going to be a
True.
lot visiting both of them. um
But yeah,
I
like
don't
he might
know.
get really scared off by the Mormon shit, and then
Oh
now
yeah, I
Latia's
don't think
gone, and then
that's like,
and
that's
I
a
know
hard
she's not
thing.
gonna fuck in the fantasy suites.
Yeah, no way. That's going to be a full-on Maddie Pruitt
Yeah, and I was getting, and that was
situation.
the thing is like I love Latia as a person, but that all I know of her. But I was like, when she started giving Maddie eyes at the end, I was like,
When the shift on her face
it
that went
literally there
from
was a
like
fucking shift,
being
dude.
worried, she was like worried that he wasn't going to be down, and so she was kind of like, and then she went
Eyes got
from,
bigger.
oh, you might be down to be Mormon with me. We'll be the only
And then she
black
got him to
couple.
cry because, like, I don't even know how he
Yes,
started crying. It was like so sudden, and then all of a sudden he's now bawling, and
because
she
he would
pulls
talk
him
to
in,
God.
and then she's like, caressing him and like
No,
comforting him, and I was like, oh my god, mommy
cult
again.
shit.
But I was like, but like, if any, and the
Cult
thing is, I
shit.
don't know if any of these women ever in the show, in the history of the show in general, are like, it's so rare that we ever get a success story where they get married and they stay together. I was like, that bitch can do it. If she was raised Mormon and the way that she was raised, that bitch is
Oh,
ready
she and
to take on Grant for a husband and
it
help him
literally
get through
won't.
his emotional issues. Which he's a good
It won't
guy.
matter
There's
if
no
he gets on
problem.
Grinder.
He just has well. I'm not getting gay vibes from Grant though. Is
You
that
are
hateful? I'm
or
not.
no? No, 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 no. Me neither.
I
He's so
wish.
straight.
I fucking wish.
No,
I had
he's
a great
literally
time
so
last season
straight.
with Jen. That fucking that
Oh
fucking
God,
bisexual
he's so fucking cool. Girl, girl,
girl.
girl. And even Joey a little bit with his gay dad. Girl, you know. But yeah, no, 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 no. Grant is extremely straight, man. Back to, because it's like mommy for every woman, and also fucking any which way the wind blows with the woman crying on him is when he's gonna pick who's gonna pick next. Like, he's very he's and also such a like finance bro. Like, I feel like the more I learn about him, the more I'm kind of like,
Hmm, interesting.
okay, okay. You got a
Hmm. Oh,
Ferrari.
listeners, I will listen to. I was actually going to try to listen today to his interview on Off the Vine to gather more
Oh,
intel on him, but I got busy at
Caitlin.
work. Yeah, I mean, you know, it'll be a little fluff, a little bit because it's like sanctioned by the show, but also Caitlin can get shit out, and you know, it'd be a good time. So I'm gonna plan on listening to it so I can get some more gossip. But we were talking last week with the girls from Bachelor Buzz about how the show did Grant so dirty by not letting him go on Call Her Daddy like they let Jen. That was like the best move the
Mm,
show's made in years, is to let Jen go
literally.
on Call Her Daddy before the season aired. And I know that Alexandra, I don't know her name,
Oh, yeah, her name's Alex.
yeah,
Yeah.
or something like that. Alex Cooper, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
Yeah.
uh, yeah, okay, that just sounds wrong.
Yeah. I think so.
Um, that she doesn't usually have a ton of men on the show, but she does. So like she could have had Grant on easily, and so now I
She
guess
would have had, yeah.
he's well, and like he went on fucking Viall Files, which was like a waste of my time. Caitlin's show is better if I have to do that. So anyway,
Yeah, right.
uh,
You've got to listen to something.
yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
But
Grant
yeah,
is it's kind of interesting, and I do think that I think he's a good guy, and I think he is for TRR. I think he
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
needs a little bit of therapy, as most of them do.
yeah.
And I am curious to see how this fucking season ends because it does seem like he is gonna become now undecisive because he's like, because he doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings and he doesn't want to
And he
like do
doesn't
the
have
wrong
Dina to
choice. Yeah,
ask.
he doesn't have Dean to ask. So stupid. That's so good.
And Jesse, the Libra, is gonna be like, I don't know. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
whatever you want, man.
Yeah.
Let's swing another golf club.
Oh, and Grant has had also basically no insight from other bachelors prior to the show premiering. I did watch an interview with him, and the guy was like, "Has any of the other bachelors reached out to you?" And he said, "Joey texted me and said, give me a call anytime you'd like, brother, or whatever." And but like didn't actually already talk to him, and then the interviewer, who was another black man who was really trying to get out of Grant. So how does it feel to be the second ever black bachelor? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on all of this? And Grant played it really safe. He's like, well, so has the first ever black bachelor, Matt James, reached out to you to talk to you? He said, no, no, he's not reached out to me. And I thought that was the wildest shit ever, because Matt so hates this show so much, and for good reason. But like,
yeah, no,
I'm
like that's insane, because you'd at least think that Matt would want to reach out and be like, hey, bro, I got the tea. Like,
like
let
this
me
is
know
how
when
you
you
need
need the
it.
tea. I got the tea. Okay.
Yeah.
But the other thing too that I think of is I don't think it was COVID times, but I don't think Matt James had any other bachelors
No, true.
on the show
No.
for him. They didn't have
Yeah. Oh, cancel
they didn't have
the
everybody and
bias.
their mother flown out to La Quinta.
Yeah.
They didn't, you know,
Yeah, Neiman
fucking Hannah
Colin.
Ann wandering this fucking La
She's
Quinta.
still there.
Legend. I was gonna say legend has she's still there
Yeah,
on the
let her go.
golf cart.
She thinks COVID is still really raging.
Um, but yeah, so I don't think Matt James had any like bachelor contact really. And
No.
after the show, like I think he had Tyler Cameron, obviously.
But then
And
they broke up.
wait, they broke up.
Well, yeah, I think that
It's kind of giving that. You would
yeah.
think.
I'm pretty actually I saw this TikTok when all the Rachel Matt stuff was going on. I feel like enough times passed, like I can be messy again. And also you're on, so I'm like, let's get messy. We got listeners, we're just two messy gays. But
literally,
like
it's the best.
I think that Matt is not straight. And I've thought that for a long time. And for a lot of reasons, but yeah, and so but I've been pretty sure that him and Tyler were just like, but then like he actually wanted to make it work with Rachel or whatever, and then they broke up. Because remember there was that one period of time where there was a bunch of like rumors going out where Tyler was like, I had to stop being friends with Matt because Rachel didn't like me or something. It was like, because of Rachel I stopped being friends with Matt, and I was like, well, I know what that means. Have you heard of Taylor Swift and Carly Kloss and Josh Kushner? Let's talk about it.
Like literally, who was fucking and sucking out here? Like seriously, because no, I completely agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree. Matt is giving hardcore, no, 100%. Like because you don't. This is going to sound insane because obviously there's exceptions to the rule.
right.
But for the most part,
yeah.
If you are a straight person and you want marriage in your life and you are dating someone for 5, 6, 7 fucking years, however long chunk of time, and marriage just kidding, right at the end when there's no inclination of that prior, discussing all sorts of wedding plans and rings and XYZ, and you're going to just break up out of nowhere, you're going to look for the most arbitrary of reasons. Like, I'm sorry, it's giving. I don't want to be with women. Like, anyway.
Like, they never lived
I'm with
together.
you.
I thought they lived together.
That's
and during the breakup, we
insane.
found out that she didn't live with him. I was like,
insane.
what? And like, okay, do you know those TikTokers, Grant Ash, the redhead and the twink? It's the
yes,
and they do the bit of where they're a couple.
Yeah.
And Grant and
Liv loves twink and a redhead.
Heterosexuality.
Yeah, literally,
but
Liv's,
like I
favorite
love
thing
them
to
so
sim.
much, and like the bit is that he is gay, and like exactly, Liv got in the back. But yeah, so it's like it's giving that character.
No, absolutely. Also, I don't know if have you locked into Love Is Blind this season?
A Smith. Oh yeah. I got to the point where the one woman said that she's bi, and then the guy got mad at her.
There's that.
But
I wasn't even gonna talk about that because
that's
that
different. Yeah.
is just classic biphobia of like, but no, there's the man
Which man?
who didn't know about Black Lives Matter,
Oh, right.
didn't vote, he is, I'm convinced,
Mm,
okay? I'm
mm.
convinced so hard because he is that level of like homophobic that he can't even say gay people. No, he said that community. That community, those people, that
Right.
way.
Oh no, because the
And
one
I'm like,
sister or one lady's
yep,
sister is
because the
queer.
girl that yep, has a queer sister, and she's
Mm.
like, do you even give a fuck about Black Lives Matter? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, George Floyd happened here. Like, here. Anyway, that man, I am literally so convinced. Like, I was convinced when he was in the pods, but I'm more convinced now that he's out of the pods, watching him walk and move and speak and exist. I'm like, this is a gay man. This is giving Colton Underwood before he came out because he's super Christian, super
Hmm.
pure, super
Hmm.
like, but also has all sorts of allegations of misogyny via college chaos, which again is giving, I don't actually want to be with women, and nor do I care about their feelings
I feel
in
like we
any
don't
side.
talk about that enough as a society. How a lot of
Because yes, men
misogynists
are
are
also
queer. No,
misogynists,
absolutely. Period.
like
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But like, trust
Yeah.
everyone who's if you're watching this or listening to this, watching this on YouTube
Yeah.
because you have to go to Descartes Pod's YouTube. If you are seeing us flail around like this and have watched Love is Blind, you fucking know what I'm talking about. Because that man, I'm sorry, that man's mouth, I'm not gonna go there,
Yeah.
but his mouth is a shape. I'm just gonna say, okay? Like, I'm sorry. Anyway, that being said, yes, I agree with that with Matt James. I fully do, and the Tyler, all of it. Yep, yep, yep. And I am literally always down to gay speculate at every moment.
Plug for the Patreon. I was doing a series about blind
Oh,
items, and the Matt James year was. I talked about it in greater
mm,
detail on that, so go
mm.
check that out. And I apologize to my Patreons. This month we'll have a great episode. I am actually going to have my girlfriend on, and I'm going to tell them, I'm going to give them like a 20-minute crash course on who Gabby Windy is,
Period.
lore, and then we're
Good.
going to watch the first episode of The Traders, and then record the rest of the podcast
Beautiful.
episode. So
I'm obsessed with that.
that's going to be a very good episode.
If you want, we could talk off pod. If you want to get a setup on how to record yourself watching trailers
Oh,
so you can
yeah.
watch it,
Oh,
I
that'd be
will tell you
great.
how it would be
Okay.
very, it's a lot more simple. Now that I know how to stream,
Yes,
I
on Twitch.
totally, OBS is like a magic program.
And I've used it once, kind of. So yes, I even
Okay,
know that term. So I'm already one step
yeah.
close.
The only thing you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to make some type of like frame
Oh yeah.
art thing of like your with the corner
Mhm.
cut out with the face and the big cutout.
Okay.
I'll help you.
Do this.
But anyway, because that would be really fun to react to
Yeah.
trailers, especially because she talks about, oh, the Bachelor didn't work out because I'm a lesbian now on the fucking first
First
episode.
episode, so
Gabby,
it's gonna be great.
literally, we don't deserve Gabby
We don't.
coming from Bachelor Nation.
Mm-mm.
However, I will say too, as a nuanced queer person, girl, I need you to read a book. I need you to learn about queer things that are not through Robbie. Only your girlfriend,
Please.
because Robbie is legit and awesome, and there's a lot of things that Robbie views for queer people that like I actually agree with
No,
versus
yeah.
like mainstream, everybody being all
Yeah.
really hyper specific about, literally Robbie's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm just gay. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, but I'm just like,
It's old. It's a bit old school.
I'm like,
It's a
girl,
bit,
I
yeah.
need
It's
you to, because especially because she is such a voice that I'm like, you need to be a more informed voice. And I
just a
adore
smidge.
everything she does, but every time she has a guest on her podcast, it is so apparent where the, anyway, love, you have to do that. Okay, I'm so excited for you. That's gonna be an amazing Patreon episode.
It's gonna be so good, guys. I was like,
Gosh,
they're like, because they kept a house, they're like, babe, you have to tell me who Gabby is. I was like, God, do I want to? And then I like one day I was like, be on the podcast with me, and I would do it, and I would tell you about Gabby, and you don't even have to say anything; you just have to react.
you just have to sit there next to me, like, and say, wow, and
Yeah,
ask
which
me
they do
questions when
all
you
the time
have them.
anyway. They're always like, "Oh my God,
Oh my
wow, babe, I love
God.
everything you say," and I'm like, they're
Yeah,
listening
I'm
to this
so
right now, by
smart.
the way. Hi, babe, how are
Oh
you?
my God. Okay, Gio, I've heard so much about you, and I'm literally obsessed from afar.
Oh.
I'm actually your you two's your biggest fan.
Yeah.
So
Wait, I
good for
need
the
your
two of you
help coming
together.
up with our ship name. I've been struggling with it. So they go by Giselle and Gio, and my name is Jenna. So I've been doing Gizenna, which sounds like a medication. They said they said they said Jenna, but spelled with a G. But that's like
Giona.
then okay, Giona. Oh wait, Giona's kind of
Giona.
Giona's okay. I didn't even think about that. I kind of like that.
Right? Because you have the like because
G
that's
J
like the way
E.
you want to work with because you have
Yeah,
the GJ thing
yeah,
happening.
yeah. And they spell
Geo.
Geo, and then Giselle is
Yeah.
Gi, but like whatever. So like
Yeah.
Gianna,
No,
Giona.
Giona.
Sorry, Giona.
Yeah, it sounds like someone would name their kid that in the
Yeah.
year of our hell Lord 2025.
And then I was thinking if I did J, mine so J first, and then it's Gizenna or
Geo.
Giselle,
Oh,
or wait,
Gizenna.
Gizenna.
I mean, I do like Gizenna, even though it does sound like
Jizz.
medication.
Yeah, as well.
Um, what do you think it would be medication for?
IBS. Because we'd
If
be
you two are
farting all the
shitting
time.
yourself
Yeah, we've been
and
shitting.
farting,
Well,
if
because
you
they're making
struggle
me
about farting
meals
during
now.
sex,
Yeah, they're making me home cooked
oh,
meals, and half of them have fucking cream in them. I'm like, babe, I have
mm,
a lactose
IBS.
intolerance, and I'm pretty sure I have IBS. It's undiagnosed, but at this point, listeners are like,
You're a
bitch.
Virgo, of course you have IBS.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hot too, and hot girls have IBS.
Literally,
Okay,
hot
say it with
girls
me.
have IBS. Hot girl IBS. Yeah. Wow. Well,
Wow.
that's beautiful. Well, okay. I have one thought that I had thought of, and I wanted to ask your opinion. So, obviously, this whole Bachelorette
Yeah,
canceling
yeah.
slash taking a break drama, right? Did you hear about the whole Rachel Recchia on
Yes, but we did not talk about it
whatever
yet.
podcast?
So,
Okay.
you recall what it
So
was?
it was on
Ashley and Ben.
Ashley. Yes, I was like, it is a Bachelor podcast
Yeah.
with someone out there. Yeah, Ashley and Ben. And she basically, they were like theorizing why this would happen. And Ashley said that she thinks that the Secret Life of Mormon Wives season 2
Yeah.
maybe is going to take that time slot, which I feel is plausible, but like, are the ratings for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives that good? Like, I don't know. But what Rachel said is that they had picked a bachelorette, but then there was some type of issue.
Mm.
And it just, instead of doing the Maria thing where they like swapped Maria and Jen around, they were like, fuck it, we ball. Like or we bail
Yeah.
mostly.
Yeah.
And so part of me, okay, so I saw this post reel from Latia that was her hanging out in Montana, some house, like clearly like an Airbnb situation. And it was like Charity, Katie, big Katie from
Yeah.
like Zach and Katie.
Jackie Katie.
It was there was another ex-bachelorette. Hang on, I'm about to just pull it up.
Yeah.
Because it was people to where I was like, no one from her season.
Yeah.
Only other people from other seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And hang on. And there and
was
multiple
Rekia there?
leads.
I feel like Rekia probably was there.
Well, I don't think so.
Mm.
Okay. It's Charity, Ariel, Jess, Gabby from Zach's season, and then Katie. So it was a bunch of Zach's girls and Mercedes. Yeah, Mercedes.
Also from Zach. Okay.
So interesting that she's either friends with, okay, I was mistaken. I thought there was more than one lead in that, but with Charity there too. It's like, was Latia the possible bachelorette?
I think so.
Who
and I think
knows
I either
people
heard
now?
that from the Rachel interview or saw it somewhere else because I remember it was all kind of in my head and that they chose Latia. And honestly, last night I was like, she's gonna be the bachelorette. Like I saw it. I was like, if he doesn't choose her, I was like, she's perfect. I mean, or whatever. I don't know. But like, yeah, I was like, oh, it's definitely gonna be her.
Mormon.
Yeah, it'd be great.
But how could they fuck up having a Mormon bachelorette with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives airing the fucking episode after?
Yeah, like synergy, baby.
Come on, it was like it was planned.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this is the 2020 election
is this
all
the
over
fucking
again.
Mormon agenda? I mean, I don't know, with the way this country is going. Like,
I know, right?
It could be anything.
But yeah, but I'm just and it's just interesting. And of
It
course
is.
everyone's like the joke is like, oh, they needed more time to do background checks. As if they did
No,
them ever.
that's the actually to me, that's the one I was like find most believable is that all the men they got, they kept finding shit. And they were like, well, fuck, we just keep losing cast. It's like we've run out of alternates. Like, what do we do? Like, I'm convinced, especially because it's just one after another coming out from the Love is Blind guys this season. One of which has allegations of um young teen situations. Okay. Like,
Bro.
and he was like a guy on the show who was talking about attachment styles and shit. It seemed like he was all, well, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is Minnesota, like prime casting of these shows
Yeah, I know,
zone.
absolutely. I was like, go for more normal dudes when they are on that show, and it's still fucked.
They're literally fucked. Like the normal ones are the Devons, okay? They're the
I
ones that you're
know. I know. And that's why Jen
literally,
thought
and
she was
now
safe. That's why she was like, I'm picking the ugly one because he won't be a loser.
literally the fucking ugly one.
And then it's
Yeah,
like he was the biggest loser of them all. And
literally.
it just
And
turns
now
out
he's
that
dating.
men are bad.
No, like men are so bad, and casting for The Bachelorette must be like whoever's doing that is graying at a rapid rate. Like
They
they're
actually
just living many lives.
they took a sabbatical. That's why the show's not happy. They're like, I actually can't. I fucking can't. And I need a
No,
break.
I'm
And they
over
were
it.
like, okay,
I
I
mean,
guess we have to.
they they fired all the crew, so no one's there to background check anymore anyway. So everyone's like, fuck it, who
Just
cares?
hire
The back
Reddit.
like hire literally any fucking bored Bachelor fan who doesn't leave their house. It won't take that much. It literally will actually probably cost less.
Yeah, I'll do it for $500.
Literally, and then you put their name in the credits.
Yeah,
It's
but at the
great.
very end
And
next
then
to Mike
because
Fleiss.
then I feel like if someone does that, then I feel like I'm gonna watch a good show.
Yes,
Because I'm not
yes,
gonna have predators on my
yes.
fucking
And
screen.
I'll cast them for 500 even. I'll cast and
Literally.
do background checks.
You're like, I will interview them
Yeah, what do you?
and ask their time of birth.
Exactly. And they're not going to want the dyke like me, a fat dyke like me. So it'll be
Oh,
safe. It'll be good.
literally
They'll trust
no
me.
problems.
And it's going to be great. And it won't be like an unreal situation where I'm trying to fuck any of them.
Yeah.
And
We don't need to have
yeah,
the hot
yeah.
producers
Just
like
feed
where you're like
me.
what was it? Peter had the rumors of
Yes,
dating the producer
exactly.
afterward. Yeah,
Oh
like
my
we
God,
don't need
that
any of
one.
that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
No, like
Just
yeah, I was like, you don't even have to come with the fiction for Unreal. You could pull it from IRL.
like oh yeah, no, it's so true. Chris Harrison even. Okay.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's just like, come on, y'all. And so my delusions up until I started hearing that stuff with Rachel, Rekia, and just kind of like going and then the Mormon wives rumor, I was delusional and I was recalling to the thoughts I had about a gay season coming sooner than later. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh
I
my
need
God,
it.
it's happening. They're not doing The
I
Bachelor
need
because
it.
they're doing a gay season.
They were
And
like, fuck it. I look, and that's also why they need to hire more new crew. They need to make
yeah.
sure everybody's cool with the
But the thing
new
is,
situation.
if they can't find any good men, if that is the reality, that's more proof to
Only
them that they
cast
should
women.
just do a woman's season. I'm sorry. Or if like,
Wow.
oh, if
Like,
I casted by a bisexual, say you got only 5 good men from your lot of 30 that you cast, and only 5 of them ended up not having DV records. Great. Keep those 5 men.
no restraining orders.
They're great. They're actually nice. And then bring in 15 women. You got yourself an episode. You got yourself a season.
Literally, you got yourself a season. You got and all the women don't give a fuck about these men.
Yeah.
And so they feel less desired. It's just fine. Beautiful.
I actually think a bisexual
And
season, like a real, true, like,
no,
season will
like
be so slay.
I like I it's insane how badly I would want to produce it. Like
Yeah. I know it would be like
I
done
just
frothing in the
know
mouth.
it would be so good. And because and people are afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid because they're like, oh, everybody's too promiscuous and everybody wants to fuck everyone. Yeah. Yeah. And like you're telling me that wouldn't be insanely good TV? You're telling me the 4TRR people wouldn't fucking wiggle their way out and
course.
be there would be actual people like
There's always golden retrievers. The queer
I
community is
just think
full of golden retrievers. They will
and
want to win the lead's heart.
And shockingly, not all gay people want to fuck each other.
No.
Not all gay people are each other's type. So you're really not gonna deal with as much.
Yeah.
It could totally happen, but then again, that is fun drama,
That's what
and you
paradise
fucking
is. Isn't that what paradise is? Like, literally, isn't that what paradise?
God. Or just do paradise with gay people. Just throw new gay
Actually,
people on there. Who cares? Honestly, because God, I just oh my God.
and it's
It's
like, ugh.
insane to think about no bachelorette, but still bachelor because I'm like,
And it's my
so
worst nightmare
what?
because for years, any listener on the show has known that I have strongly advocated for us taking a break from The Bachelor. I said, skip a season. We have a million women to choose from to be leads. We can go
Mhm.
back. I mean, actually, but then I was reminded that some of them we can't because now they're like getting partners and whatever. Like Michelle, I was like, oh, let's
Yeah.
give Michelle a second season. She's engaged, right? Et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
Katie's
Katie's like,
engaged.
yeah, exactly.
Literally, Charity is
Like,
with
well, like we
Dotton.
could pick like
Like
Ariel, or we could take. Like there are people. Well, maybe she's dating somebody. They're probably all dating people. But there is plenty of women we can choose
there's
from.
people.
Ilana
There's
Mayer is
people.
there. Like,
They all of these women from this season, any of them would make a good bachelorette.
yeah,
I'm sure some of them, most of them are probably still single. Like, but
we
but
can
yeah, I
skip The
agree. Taking
Bachelor.
a
And
break
I
from The
was just
Bachelor,
like, and so I was like shocked as fuck when this was the reality. I was like, have they
but
not been
then
listening to the podcast?
Bachelorette over and over means they keep having to find 30 some
No,
odd
and
good
you're so
men.
right. And you're so right. And
Like
it's
that's
no,
so
it's so
hard.
nightmarish. Yeah, no, it's
Like
so
it's
true.
like you can't
No,
it's
it's so
at this point
true.
where like reality TV, I think we've said this maybe before
Yeah.
together, that reality TV needs to just be a place where all the bad men go and we just put them on TV to make fun of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like where it's like we
Actually,
use
no,
this
actually
as
intentionally find as many bad ones as you can.
like,
No, you're so right. We
and
said
then
this.
we put them on an island for some weird show and like say it's like something like Survivor, but we just throw them out there and then you leave.
And you like get like the strongest woman you know. Like the one, oh, I mean Alana, let's put her in. She could break all of their necks. She's not in
Mhm.
risk of getting, and I'm being, of course, being silly, but like she could also be a victim of things. But
No,
but I'm saying,
obviously,
but put
but
like
like
the
in our
strongest
stupid little
willed,
scenario,
strongest woman you know as the lead for
a fucking rugby player
yeah,
could
for the
kick
season
ass
of
for any of these
30
men.
pieces of shit. She just
And it's
like
actually just boot camp.
yeah.
It's just boot camp run by Alona. And then at the end, she gets to pick from like a bunch of like celebrity eligible bachelors or
Yeah.
like football players of her
Yeah.
choice or whatever the fuck she wants. Like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Another person that I'm like, wow, she's straight. Like,
Yeah. I know.
it's fine. And I know it's fine.
But here's the thing.
It's
Oh,
fine.
never mind, never mind. She's already on a team full of women. I was like, put her on a season of Bachelor. She'll fall in love with a fellow woman, and
No,
that's
she's
she's already been
literally on
exposed.
a rugby team,
So
bitch.
like,
She's
I'm like, damn
in the
it.
gayest environment already and still hasn't turned
And
gay.
like, and that's even
unfortunately
more. And of course,
we've
unless she
lost
might
her.
like femmes. Now, maybe she likes femmes and she doesn't know it. And if she's in a room full of a bunch of pageant queens taking their
Oh
tops off,
shit. Oh, you fucking
I cracked a dude, Lana.
you're onto something.
Yeah.
You're onto something. Yeah. No, yeah.
Femme for
Yeah.
femme.
Wow. Speaking of did we even talk about Juliana?
No, that fucking bad ass bitch with her chiclet fucking fingernail. I'm like screaming my ass off.
The way she was literally like, my family deals with addiction, and Grant was like, "You're my wife." He was like, "Me too. Love it." Like, I actually
So
think he's
vague.
gonna
She's
pick
like,
her.
I'm sad sometimes, and I know that I'm really
And this is
beautiful, and I know that beautiful people are not sad. Beautiful thin women are not sad ever, but like it turns out I
and I'm like so
am.
happy. Yeah,
That's
I'm
that's
really
fake. I'm putting a mask on. Okay, what else are you putting mask on? Your voting records?
she's pulling a Ben in the pods of Love is Blind. I don't know what that is. Doesn't affect me. God. No, she's I'm really stressed. He's gonna pick her and it's gonna give Rachel O'Connell and Matt James all over again, but just like kind of a
Epiphany said
different
it.
font.
When I was recording Epiphany a couple weeks ago, I was like, we were talking about Juliana at some point, and I was like, oh, wait, well, she's the one known MAGA on the season. And Brittany was like, well, okay, well, I guess he's picking her. And I was like, no, you can't say that. But
I, why do they do this? Like, it's like, because again, it's either MAGA or Mormon, and I don't know what door is more stressful. And because I don't know whose like mind is able to shift more, a Mormon or a MAGA person. Like that's like a social experiment all on its own. That could be honestly, if those two are the top two, we should just have a new TV show in the Bachelorette slot of him trying to figure out how to pick between the two of them, and they just slowly but surely reveal more unsettling information.
of their values and morals.
Yeah, literally. And he just has to like
Oh my god.
pick one at the end. It's
Well,
like
okay,
a
now, okay,
like
now
an
wait a second.
extended battle royale.
Now, maybe that's why he's not choosing a woman at the end, or he can't choose between the two because Latia's actually kind of already infected him with the sister wife virus.
He wants them both.
He wants both.
He wants them both. I mean, look,
Time and time again.
Bachelor thruple has been needed.
It's
okay.
needed.
We are past due. Like, if they can't give us more like diversity, body diversity, more like all sorts of that shit, just give us some fucking thruples.
Yeah.
Give us a poly rep. Because
And we
it's
almost
already a
got it
mess
with Joey. I felt like Daisy and Kelsey and Joey were a hair's breadth.
the way they walked, the way they drove together. No, that was so close. We were again, we've tasted
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and now I need it for real.
Yeah.
And if it's Juliana and Latia, a MAGA and a Mormon, I mean, I'd love to see the Barbies kiss. Mormon Barbie, MAGA Barbie, let's go.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
No, this is what the show is now. Like,
And I tell
they're
you
gonna
what,
cancel the Bachelorette, and we're gonna have to do this over and over with this one, with young men and then old men, and they're gonna cancel the Golden Bachelorette too because
they had 5
because
DV
why
records on that
not?
shit. And I mean, like, come on.
Because again, how are you supposed to find 30, 20 older 65 plus year old men who aren't shit? Like,
And they did better than I expected them to be honest.
like only one of those predators made it to the top two.
Yeah, I was like shocked. I was
Instead
like, okay,
of both of them.
I guess I'm gonna say thank you. Like, I don't like. I guess like good job. Like, honestly,
Good job. Like, I guess we should thank Chalk for coming back
Thank
and
you,
saving
Chalk.
Joan.
And literally, when he came back, I was screaming my ass off. I was like, fine, okay, a man with conviction.
Like, finally, a real fucking man up in here. Like, like we haven't seen the likes of a real man since Joey. Well, no shade, Grant. Love you, but okay, you're no Joey. Like, Joey really, he really carried that, and he really set because he really set the franchise up for failure with
That's the problem. I know.
Season after his, like, there was never going to be a good follow-up to Joey, no matter how amazing The Bachelorette was going to be. And then you followed it up with that.
Yeah.
And there was that article that came out that named the fucking showrunner as the one who was like, yeah, we're going to make Jen watch her own proposal. Oh my God.
Thinking that was gonna save the sinking ship, it's like it's just made it worse. People were so mad at the end of that season, and that's the thing is I actually think that is what is related to all this drama. You're right. It's just like it's like people were so livid about that, but it was like, of course, it was multi-layered. It was because she was the first Asian lead, and they intentionally cast one Asian man, and then like it was just it was
they literally can't have a POC lead, either male or female, that goes well. Charity is the like light in the dark tunnel of all of this bullshit because she got so fucking lucky with Dotton. Also, other than Joey, all her final 4 were black. Like, she was not messing around with that.
No,
like,
so true.
And it's like in Dotton, of course, like he's Dotton.
Angel.
What a giant angel.
Literal giant and
giant angel, like 7 foot tall angel, and she's just like hugs his like hips as like it's so beautiful. But anyway, this has been a doozy. This is a doozy. And hometowns, yeah, happening so fast. But it's like, are they gonna drag? I know that apparently this season is shorter,
I think
but are
probably
they
like
gonna
1 week though. That's the
drag?
thing. Yeah, I think we're gonna get like an extended. We're getting either a 2 night or a 2 week finale. I think we're getting hometowns next
Yeah.
week, and then I've been wondering in my head whether they're gonna
Hometowns,
do
men tell,
tell
or women tell
all,
all.
yeah, and then fantasy suites, and then a two-parter
Yeah.
finale.
So we could be still
Um,
looking at like 3, 4 more
yeah,
weeks.
so I think that's how it's gonna go, and I think this is the best part of it. And honestly, it's
Or
the
four,
thing is,
five, I
I've
should
actually
say.
been advocating for less contestants in the last like, couple seasons. I do think it's better. We get to know them more, and that's I like. I actually don't think
And
that's a
you don't need to
problem.
eliminate, like it used to be
Yeah,
that one would go.
right.
Like there was like less people, and it would be the first couple of rose ceremonies would
A
still be
lot.
like a lot
Yeah.
of them, but like
Then
eventually it was just one going, and
exactly.
the one person going adds drama.
Yeah. Like
It
who
adds
did?
suspense and fucking stakes.
Yeah.
Like when you have 3 or 4 people going home every episode, it's like
Well,
the producers can get lazy and not show us these people. Like
yeah.
again, Serafina, I'm like,
Alex.
A-
And she did the first impression
Alex,
rose.
I was so fucking sure she was gonna beat the first
Absolutely.
impression road odds, rose odds,
Yeah.
but like she was giving bachelorette material.
Yeah.
Like again, so much of this cast is, but like she really was,
Yeah.
like really was,
Absolutely.
like oh my god. And but so yeah, like because it was Serafina and wait, I'm trying to think of who else was left. Dina, Christina, well, and obviously Carolina, but
Mhm.
yeah, Carolina.
Who was even a contender for still like being in for a while. Like she wasn't,
Oh yeah,
So it was just like
totally.
it's
If she
crazy. And
literally if
like
she didn't crash out, she would have been.
I like so I
But
turned
she'll
to
be amazing on Paradise.
right, and I turned to my
Amazing.
girlfriend and their niece is visiting, and I was just like, guys, this is kind of crazy. Like normally they're not getting rid of 3 people in the pre-hometowns episode. It's two
Yeah,
usually,
yeah,
and
two,
and
and it's
usually
like
they even give
two.
a rose out to like the one-on-one dates. And that was the thing.
The
They're
no
like, no roses.
roses.
And they're like, so you get one. And then I was like, okay, I liked that. I did like the element of like us not finding out at the end, but I kind of was like, this is wild. It's not
It
how it's
just
supposed to
felt
be.
like to me. It just felt like the roses. It's like the reward,
Yeah.
right? And like so doing that stuff on the one-on-one dates and like pulling it out on a group date, like to me, I'm like it would have just been nice. Like really what it should be is that the one-on-ones have potential for roses, but the group date no.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the one-on-ones you get or maybe you only get one-on-one and 2 small group dates,
Yeah,
and then you
that'd be
give
pretty good.
one rose to the one-on-one if you want.
Yeah, if you
Otherwise,
want
there's
it,
some
obviously. Yeah.
people get sent
They
home
do.
on the
They
one-on-ones
do.
before hometowns
Exactly.
all the time.
No, and that's
So
why
it's
I also
like,
like the fact that they didn't even have the option to send somebody home. I was kind of like, I don't know. You could
yeah,
have maybe not liked Latia
it's
as much. Like she could have said I was a Mormon, and
literally
he
she
could have
could have
been
said she
like
was a Mormon. Bye. Like
that rose,
snatch that
bitch.
rose real quick.
Instead, he was like, I
Um,
guess I'm good with it.
like I guess I have to say something here because we are just gonna have to end the date and go back no matter what, and I'll maybe give you a rose later. It's so so
Yeah, it's
strange,
crazy.
but whatever. I'm excited for hometowns and the giant families and the Mormonism and the because again she said Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I was like, he don't even know what that is. He don't even know. Also known as Mormonism, was insane. Like I just this is where we've come. Bachelor has always been a reflection of the world around us, and
Yeah.
here we are.
It's never been more true. It's never been
Here we
more
fucking are.
true.
Well, I'm
I love you.
love it. I love you. I literally love you.
I love you
I
so
love
much.
checking out podcasts with you. I was so excited all day. I'm so hype.
I wish my
Uh
Zoom would actually still do the heart. It
oh wait,
doesn't. Does it? It
do it.
doesn't. Yeah,
Do it. Do it.
it's fine. People are.
The Gen Z one.
I can't do it.
Um, but anyway, I want to come visit you so bad this year. So
Yeah, let's make it happen, people.
when
Make sure you're following Shannon
whether
on their streams at
oh my god, yeah,
Astrology Chef
please
on Twitch. Have you met your like
yeah.
live? So you go live
I
now.
have.
Yeah, okay,
I
good.
have met my goal. Well, I was able to go live, but it's I
Yeah.
could
Oh
monetize the
yeah, true.
lives.
So you've
Yeah.
met that goal?
So yes, I have made that goal since our last, and I did get a couple follows from
Good.
after your uh podcast dropped.
podcast.
So thank you to any of your listeners who are video game nerds. I will like probably be yapping more on there about Survivor because Survivor
Yeah.
starts
And Shannon's a big
tomorrow.
big Survivor head. So
And one thing about Survivor that's fun that is not Bachelor is uh they always have a heavily diverse cast, be it body, age, sexuality,
gender.
race, gender, everything. It's equally gender divided and then pretty equally, I mean, it's pretty weighed well when it comes to like they have all it's so good. It's so good. And so it's nice to be able to like turn away from Bachelor
Yeah.
to go to like
Do that.
something like that where you're like, wow, they know that everyone exists.
I love it.
Everyone. But anyway, so I'm very excited about Survivor. And
Yeah.
Traders is wrapping up soon. And I've also been watching Drag Race this season,
Mm.
so that's been fun. But anyway, love, love reality TV right now.
Yeah. I
Except
want
for
to
No
watch
Bachelorette.
more. Yeah. I've been
I
watching,
mean,
wanting to
hey,
watch more.
you'll
Go ahead.
have
I know.
you'll have
I literally said that today. I was like, guys, I'm barely holding on. I'm gonna get a break. I need it so bad.
I actually, yeah, that's really good. And because Bachelor in Paradise,
It'll
I
probably
mean,
be
in my opinion,
August or something.
but in my opinion, if they're skipping Bachelorette, they should
Yeah.
put
It's closer, yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise in the summer
Yeah.
more because it feels so strange when you're
No,
like
and I
pushing
agree, but even if like
September.
they put it in like
But if
June
they
or
had to,
July, like that's still a
yeah,
good amount of break for me
perfect,
ultimately. So I'm
perfect.
excited, but I want to apologize to the people. I've been last week I didn't put memes up. I've been just like I'm really going through it physically. And I know that everyone knows that, but yeah, it's like some weeks are really bad and I am
No,
like
yeah, for real.
struggling with just like being like yeah, just really not well. But
There's like, yeah,
I'm getting through it and getting through it.
here you are. And honestly, it's hard, but your future self will
Yeah,
love you for all this.
no, it's true.
And
And yeah,
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 because it's and like what's so crazy about bodies and like when you fix them and stuff like that and like go through like these types of therapies and whatever, is you're like really strengthening it for the future
it's so
and
true.
you're gonna be like once you're over the hill here, it'll be smooth sailing down.
That's what I'm hoping.
So
So I'm
yeah.
hoping. But yeah, I did a lot of damage
Yeah.
with taking care of kids for as long as I did and not
Being a
doing
nanny,
other
yeah, no, I
things.
mean,
And I have like a condition I was born with and like that's all coming back and it's just like a lot of things. Like every element
no,
of it.
literally,
But I'm trying my best and I'm killing it, TBH, but
you are.
sometimes that means other parts of my life are and it's like because I really want to give Grant his season due.
Yeah.
And I am like I'm here, I'm present on my podcast, but I feel bad because I know I
Yeah.
like to give multi elements to like my feed and my life, and no one cares really, but I'm just like I like to do it. And I also
You care.
miss it. Like I miss it. Like I want to be more like energetic and feel good enough that I could make memes and I can make reels and I can do that kind of shit because I love doing it. This season is
Oh my
great.
God, your
But I
reels.
know, but I'm just like too exhausted to like
No, like,
do any of it. Like when I'm at work, every second, every movement I make with my body, I'm thinking about it because if I don't, I'm going to hurt myself and I need to work until I figure something else out. So I'm just like literally
yeah.
like and I was talking to my friend about it who also kind of went through similar things and they said it was like it's like a choreographed dance. So like all day for 8 hours I'm doing a choreographed dance because if I make one wrong move I'm gonna be bad. And so then I get home
Yeah.
and I'm so exhausted and because I was
Yeah.
like not just like normal work exhaustion like extra. I'm just
Yeah.
like sick of
Do you have,
it.
do you have like, have you considered getting like a cane or something? Not for like
Maybe
all
no,
day
no,
working,
no.
obviously, but like just for even just like helping yourself like get up off of sitting. Because I know
That's probably what I
the,
need is like a little thing. I do
the
have a little
hip,
stool that I get into to get into the shower. I can't, I have a
love.
clawfoot tub and it's too high for me to get into.
No, oh
So,
my God. Yeah,
so there's things
that's so
but
cute.
actually I have been thinking about there's like a thing you can also get for your car where you can like put it into like a thing and you can like get out of the car easier. You're right. And like use the thing to like pull yourself
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Because that is like when I had my hip problem, a
Yeah.
very similar thing to you, but not as nearly as intense. It definitely like I could getting from sitting to standing was where I was always telling my physical therapist was like, that is the hardest shit. Like so bad because your body is like bent
Yes.
like in like one, two, three, like multiple
Yeah,
ways.
like
And so you're
little.
bending and straightening
Yeah.
more and you're using so much effort. And depending on how like if I was sitting in like something that's like lower to the ground, it was so fucking hard. But if I was sitting in a tall bar stool, it was hurting because I wasn't
Yes, you're not getting supported.
extended right.
No, exactly. I've like literally
Bar
never
stools are
never
mm.
had to think about a chair more in my life. And I just told my friend, I'm like, I can't wait until I don't have to think about chairs as much.
There were so many times where I was just like, I'll stand.
Yeah,
Like
I'm just saying.
standing is
Standing is
actually
better.
better for
Way
all
better.
of because that's the thing is like standing it's like so counter you feel like it's not but like
Yeah, but no,
standing up
it's
is
yeah.
helpful because it like when I would
Sitting.
wake up in so much pain from lying down on my bed and like rolling and like using my core to try to roll myself, I'd wake up and be so much pain and then I'd take whatever I'd
Yeah.
like painkillers, my gabapentin, shout out moi. But like I'd do that stuff and then I'd go to work and I'd still be like in pain but then by midday I'd be like
Actually, this
I
is
feel so
okay.
much
Yeah.
better because I'm standing
Yeah,
up
moving your
and it's
body
like
and
I'm
yeah.
using more of my body to hold myself up instead of whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
I did want to
lovely.
shout out a listener. I'm not gonna say their name, but like they did DM me. I've become friends with them on my personal page too. They had a similar thing that I have right now, and they gave me so much advice via DM. I was so
Yay.
grateful to it. But yeah, they were like, you can get chairs that are slanted in a different way for people who have hip and back issues. You can't sit in a normal chair. You need it to be, or I mean, you can, but like you know, if you have hip surgery, it's like recommended to get like a certain chair. So you're like it's at a different angle because you're like
I mean, it's
hinging
kind of like
shit.
it's like the squatty potty idea
Yeah, like
of
yeah,
like where
exactly.
you
So
need to, your body is actually more comfortable
in a
like
different,
that
yeah.
than sitting flat with your legs flat out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
same and also same for like giving birth. It's like
Mm-hmm.
easier when your legs are up here or
Mm-hmm.
you're also standing up, right? Like
Or on your fours or whatever.
literally.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so it's just, yeah, our bodies were not meant to sit all fucking day. Like literally. And they were not meant to run after children forever. Like that's because you know what I mean? Like you're supposed to in like it used to be
The
you
kids
grew
grow
up
up.
and the kids grow up with you and then you're done.
I
But
don't know
no, you're a
why I
nanny
thought
and you're
that.
like, all I have is babies.
I
Ugh.
don't know why I thought that was a good
Or
idea.
you could get one of those little gardening seats that they're like short low to the ground but they
Yeah.
roll and you could get
Yes.
like that and they like shape to your butt. Like they have
Oh,
like
okay.
it's meant for gardeners who are sitting in the garden all day and
Yeah.
they're trying to pick plants, but you have little kids. So you
Yeah.
just roll around on that after this little babies. Got your cane and you're like, "Yeah."
Come on,
Come
Maloney.
on, kids.
Well, I'll tell you what is good for the body is podcasting with my friend
Oh,
Shannon.
I love you. I
Hey,
love that we just could yap
I
at
love
the
it.
end
I
about
know
our
we had
about
to.
again having a human body
Human body. And it's just the greatest
that
thing
we did
ever.
not ask for.
If you're
But
listening
here we
now,
are.
please take care of your human body. Drink some water.
Yeah,
Take
literally
your
lift with your
meds.
knees. Lift with your knees, bitch.
And breathe while you're doing it. Go.
Yes, straight up. Like, oh my God,
And then
it's
you
insane.
exhale on the lift. Breathing. Okay. But yes, love you guys so
Mhm.
much. I'll see you next week and I'm gonna
Yeah,
make some memes because we came up with some good ones.
because
But
this is a memeable episode.
yeah, it's
I
good.
guess I'm crazy and evil.
Uh,
I like honestly I like that better than you did me dirty. Just because I like Carolina better.
sorry.
But
Hope you're
sorry.
listening. Hope you're listening, girly. We love you.
Yeah, if you have no fans, I'm dead, okay? Because I'm a Carolina stan for life after this season. Like, mwah, 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 perfect. No notes. No notes. Except for all those notes that we talked about earlier, but it's fine.
Damn you, I love you so much. You always get me.
I love you.
All right, bye, losers. I love you.
Bye.